hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial slash first impressions video with the PUR Love Your Selfie 2 palette. This is their new palette. They had one out last year, which was the Love Your Selfie, and this is the Love Your Selfie 2. And the reason I wanted to do a tutorial first impressions with this was because it has everything, not everything, but a lot of the products that you need. So it's really travel friendly. So inside you get some eyeshadows, you get, how many eyeshadows do you get? You get 8 eyeshadows, and then you get a bronzer, a highlight, and then a baking powder. And then also you get a lip liner, a lip gloss, and a mascara. So I thought this was awesome and will be really handy if you're going away, because it also has a really good, decent sized mirror. So you get 4 like shimmery metallic sort of shades, and oh no, sorry. You get kind of like 5 metallic, sheeny, and some are a little bit more glittery than others. And then you get 3 matte shades, and then also your bronzer, which I always end up using as an eyeshadow too. So first of all, I'm going to put some bronzer on, and it's called Composition. Now, I don't know whether this looks a little bit orange in the pan, but we'll give it a try. It does look a little bit orange on the brush. Whoa. It's pigmented, that's for sure. It's gone all over my hand. So I don't want to be too heavy-handed with this because I don't know what it's going to be like. So I'm going to start around the top of my forehead because if I've got quite a lot there, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to have too much the cheeks. See that? Sorry about the chickens, by the way, as always. So that looks fine. I mean, it's obviously not a contour powder. It is definitely more of a bronzer, and it is quite dark, actually, and quite pigmented too. So now I'm going to pop it in the contour area. Not contouring, just warming up the face, but still putting it in the area. So from the corner of my ear down to the mouth, but with this like big hula brush from Benefit. It is classed as their contour brush, which it is good at, but it's not like a brush to chisel out your face so much. With this, you've definitely got to tap off some of the product because it is very pigmented. I'm going to run it on my jawline, whatever's left on the brush. Okay, I'm not putting any blush on today because I can't work out whether See, there's a product in here which I'm not sure if it's a blush or a highlight, but it's quite pink. It's called Photogenic. But next to that is Overexposed, and I think that's what you're supposed to use as baking powder. Although it looks more like a highlighter. I can't imagine really baking with a pressed powder, which that's the pressed powder baking product, but to be honest, it does look more like a really subtle highlighter. I'm going to be using the middle shade. I'll show you it now. It's the middle bottom shade, and I'm going to be using that as a highlighter. And that's called Photogenic. Oh yeah, they are both highlighters. I just looked on the bottom, and these two are highlighters. So you could mix them together. I'm going to see what Photogenic looks like on its own. It is quite pink, so I might have to put Overexposed on top. Oh no, it's pink, but it's okay. Jesus Christ, those chickens are definitely laying some eggs today. This highlight is actually quite nice. I'll show you what it looks like this, and then I'll pop a little bit of Overexposed on top of it to see if it makes it any different. I'm just going to bring it round, so I'm putting it on tops of the cheekbones. This has really warmed up my face, like the bronzer's really warm, this pinky highlighter's quite warm. That is really pretty. Very girly. Okay, so that's what it looks like on its own. I'm going to pop a little bit of overexposed on top, which is more of a white, but it looks quite matte, but we'll see. Okay. That's just kind of taken a little bit of the pink away, but it's kept the sheen. So that would work well, I think, if you've got a bit fairer skin and the pink is too much as a highlight. It's more of a blush. So maybe use this white shade either on top or alone. What I'll do is I'll use the white shade on its own to run down my nose to see how pigmented it is on its own. I haven't got my normal concealer brush, but I've got this Spectrum brush here, which is quite similar to the usual highlighter brush I use. So I'm just going to run this down my nose. Okay, so this definitely makes for a very natural highlight. It's very, very natural. So it probably is more of an under eye product because you can't really see that. But some people might enjoy that. They might prefer to have the more natural highlighting situation. I'm going to pop a little bit of Photogenic on top of that because it's not popping enough for me. Then this looks quite dark. I'll put that on my cupid's bow. Now onto the eyes, and first of all I'm going to go in with the shade Statuesque, which is above the red kind of shade, and this will work as a transition shade. And this is a very, very light brown. Just dropped my brush, so good job I've got another one, E40 Sigma. So I've put up my brush, I've tapped it off, so through the crease and the upper crease area, working in windshield wiper motions and then in circular motions. This step I seem to do with every look, but I do think it makes such a difference when you do. Now this shadow is really nice. It's not the most pigmented shadow, but it's not unpigmented either. But I think that's more down to the colour of the shadow. It is basically the colour it is in the pan, which isn't that dark. So it's not that it's not pigmented actually, it's just the fact that it's not that dark, and it is really good for a transition shade. It's like the perfect transition colour, honestly, because it's just that shade you need kind of just to melt the colours together. The only thing I would say in this palette, that probably is that's the only colour really for your crease, which it's actually the darkest colour for your crease apart from bronzer. So that's a bit rubbish. So I'm now going to use the same brush and go in with Composition, which is the bronzer. And I'm going to run that through the crease as well. And this is obviously going to warm up the eye because that bronzer is very warm. And I'm just doing the same thing, but I put it straight into the crease and then I'm blending it up into that transition shade, bringing it out towards the edge of the brow. So that has definitely deepened it. It would be good if there was a darker brown, like almost black shade, maybe like a coffee colour in this palette. That would be awesome. But so far so good, apart from that one thing, which sucks because the other two shades, one is called Headshot and that is completely white, and then one is Pose and it's like kind of similar to this top really. So that is lighter than the shade we first used. So now that I have to do for my crease, I'm now going to go in with Paparazzi, which is the green shade in the palette. It's kind of metallic. I'm going to be using a MAC 242 brush for this. This looks pigmented. Ooh, looks darker than I thought. On the brush anyway. Sorry about my mirror. So I'm going to pop this all over the base of the lid. Oh, it's really dark. That is a lot darker than I expected. It looks kind of more of a black green, like a really dark green, and now it's falling down my face. So I've got quite a bit of fallout. But I don't think it would be so bad if I could go like this in my mirror, but obviously I'm trying to do it so you can see. This is really pigmented and it's so nice. It's a really nice shade. It would be lovely for winter/autumn, or autumn/winter. and I think it works well with the transition shades and the shades in the crease. So I've only been in that once and it's done that much to my eye. I'm going to go in again. I'm going to go back in with my blending brush, and just because you can see there's a bit of a line there, it's going to blend that into the crease. Just going to put a little bit more of the bronzer on. And this has little flecks of gold in it as well to look really nice, like even around Christmas. God, that's jumping the gun a bit. Don't really want to think about Christmas in September. I'll put a link to the palette in the description below so you can buy it if you wish. For the inner corner, I'm going to use the white shade, which is called Headshot, and it's just the eyeshadow. I'm just popping it on with that Spectrum brush again. And I'm also going to pop it on the brow bone. This is a matte shade. And I'm going to blend that in a second with a blending brush. That is a tiny bit powdery in all honesty. Once I blend, that'll be okay. I'm really impressed with the lid colour though. Just blend that because that looks a little bit powdery. On the lower lash line, what should I go for? I'm going to go with a different colour, just so we'll use a few more colours in the palette. And I'm going to go in with Sketch, which is that rust berry sort of shade. And just run it on the lower lash line. That's a really nice shade. Now I'm going to go in with a fully charged mascara. This is mascara powered by magnetic technology. Wow, it really clings to all the lashes in a good way, they're not clumping. So that is the mascara on. I like it. It's really nice and it's really good for bottom lashes. So now I'm going to go in with the lips. So for the lips, I'm going to go in with the Velvet Matte Lip Pencil, which is in the shade Vocal Point. And what I'm going to do is draw in all of my lips, like line my lips and colour them in as well. Colour them in, you know what I mean. Fill them in. So it feels like more a lip liner that you would use to fill all of your lips in as opposed to just lining them, because it's so chunky. I can't imagine just lining my lips with just this. It's such a creamy lip pencil. On top of that, I'm going to go in with the lip gloss, which is called Silhouette. Oh, the wand's very flat. And it's not sticky. It just feels quite like oil. Not in a bad way, like a sheen. So on its own, it's a really nice shade anyway. So it's just a bit lighter than what I've got on my lips now. So obviously I've got the pencil and the gloss, but the gloss on its own is a bit lighter. So that's the final look, guys. I've just realised this is like my first autumn look. Yay! I think this palette is awesome, especially for travel and especially for like a gift. The eyeshadow is really pigmented, just like the metallic-y shades, because this eyeshadow literally took me seconds to do, like the green. I thought that was awesome. I thought the white shade was a little bit powdery, but I think it blended out okay once I blended it. Don't you think? Let me know what you think. The only downfall to this palette would be that there's not a deeper shade in it, like a deeper matte shade, like a deep coffee, which would be really handy with the base lid colours. Like there's the green, there's like a goldy green, there's that berry rusty shade, and then like a shimmery brown, and then like a taupey grey. It would just be nice if there was a darker brown in there. Obviously you've got your bronzer, but that's definitely more warm like I've used, and I think it works really well with this green eyeshadow. I think this eyeshadow look is really nice, but it would be handy if there was a darker shade in there. But for, you know, what it is, I think it's amazing. And the bronzer is a good colour for bronzer, just not for contouring. The highlight, it's not my favourite, I'm being honest, but it's, you can see it, it's nice. It's just a little bit pink for me. The overexposed shade is probably a little bit rubbish. I don't think that's great. That might be good for setting under the eyes, but I haven't tried it yet, so don't take my word for that. The lip products are really nice. The lip gloss just doesn't feel like lip gloss, yet it's given my lips a really nice glossy look. The pencil was really creamy and not drying on the lips whatsoever. I think the mascara is really nice. It felt like it clung to all like the lashes but separated them at the same time. All in all, this is a good palette and I am impressed by it. More impressed by it than I thought I would be, definitely. So I will put a link to the palette below. This video is not sponsored at all. I was sent the palette, but I was not obliged to make a video. I just asked you guys on Instagram. No, I didn't. I asked you guys on Snapchat if you'd like to see the video and you said yes. So I thought I'd film it. And I like using new products, so if there's anything else that you'd like me to try, let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it for more videos from me, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will speak to you soon. The look I'm doing today is what I have on my face right now. I feel like it's like a simple but sultry look. I'm obsessed with how highlighted the inner corner of my eye is. Like, this is such a pigmented eyeshadow